We got General Strike on here. Hey, Lisa, how are you?
Hey, good.
Happy,
How are
happy
you?
May Day.
Happy
How
May
you
Day.
doing? Awesome. It's great to
Very
have you
good.
on here. Um, so do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Um, I'm a little nervous. I've never been on an Instagram Live before. Exciting. I'm Eliza. I'm a labor organizer. I used to work at Fight for 15 and Our Walmart and organizing other service sector employees. Um, but recently I've been organizing a general strike, which I know we're all like, when is the general strike happening? So that's kind of what I do now.
Awesome, yes. And I know that your page, which is General Strike US, has this really cool concept of the number 11, right? I don't know if you can explain that concept a little more.
Yeah, sure. Let's back it up though. So we're all here because we know that so many of the problems in our society are tied to capitalism. Companies succeed by cutting wages and exploiting workers, um, and environment in order to maximize profit. And this is not new, right? Black slaves actually built our economy. And we see the effects of this kind of racist capitalist system in so many of our institutions, like our healthcare system, which is designed to benefit pharmaceutical companies over patients. We see we have a housing crisis because there's more money in luxury housing than affordable infrastructure. So at the general strike, our goal is to address these problems by coming together first as workers. And we say workers united against this system will never be defeated. So we know under capitalism, our greatest power is our labor and our right to actually refuse our labor and shut down the economy. Um, so yeah, that's where the general strike comes in. And there's been a lot of research that shows 3.5% of the population is needed to be on board for a mass movement to succeed. But once that 3.5% is engaged, there's no stopping us. So 3.5% of the US population would be 11 million. And that's what we're building towards. Just person by person, online sign up at generalstrikeus.com. Anyone who's willing to say enough is enough, I'm willing to shut down this economy because I know that that's what's actually going to change so many of the problems
That's
we're
awesome, and
facing.
that sounds so inspiring. I know a lot of us, some people here on the chat were asking about creating a general strike. What are some of the tactics you've been using to like get people to know about what's going on and get your message across?
Yeah, so I'm a huge believer in digital
That makes
organizing.
two of us.
I used to organize McDonald's, and I would drive to McDonald's parking lots all day and stand in the parking lot until workers got out at like midnight or 1 a.m. I would like chase them into the dumpster and be like, sign up for the strike. There's a fast food worker strike. And using is just work smart, not hard. So we're pretty big on TikTok. Um, if you follow us, General Strike US, but our partner is United We Stand Strike, and they have almost 30,000 followers. Instagram, Facebook, just firing on all
Is that
cylinders,
what
really.
most digital organizing looks like? Is making posts on Instagram and social media, or is there more to it?
There's so much more to it. Digital organizing to me means locating hand raisers, people all across the country who are constantly using their phone, constantly on media, and then having an online to offline engagement pathway where you find those people online, but then you funnel them into groups, into communities, into Zoom calls. We've had Zoom calls with hundreds of folks from all across the country coming together around this idea of a general strike and the need for it. And then eventually we're going to hit the strike line. So yeah, it's really about taking folks from
That's really incredible. And how many people do you have signed up yourself right now?
Oh, I'll have to check because the number is constantly going up. Right now we have 5,270 committed. But we need more. We really do. We need to show unions, we need to show politicians that the people are fed up. And we're not just going to be standing around with signs protesting. We're not going to be calling our elected officials. While that's important, like, it's not working. We need to do more. And because everything is so tied into capitalism, and all politicians and CEOs and our president care about is money, we need to leverage our power as workers and say enough is enough and actually stop the system from running. And that's why please go to generalstrikeus.com. That's generalstrikeus.com to please sign up for the strike.
Yeah. So if everyone can quickly just after this or right now go to General Strike's page, which is actually linked right here. Since you're joining in, Elisa, people can directly click on your profile and go in there and sign up. And I visited your website a couple times, and it's really informative. I thought I knew a lot of this stuff, but I didn't. Like, I think your website has a lot of really great information and it's a really good resource, basically, if you want to get connected to this movement and find out more about why the 3.5, why the 11, right? Why all these things matter. Is there anything else you'd want to share with people on this live right now?
Yeah, we're just a connective tissue between all the other organizations out there. So we're decentralized, meaning we don't have a hierarchy. We're not accepting donations. We're not a 501c3. We have no top-down hierarchical structure right now. All we are is a decentralized network of people across the country who are ready to say enough is enough. So that means we have so many partners. Go to Empire 13, go to Unity is Power, go to the Trans Radical Activist Network. We have so many partners that are doing incredible work, and we're just trying to unite all of us to take it one step further and say climate justice, racial justice, police brutality, housing rights, homelessness, like all these issues, if we come together as one and see ourselves first and foremost as workers, then we're really unstoppable.
Solidarity, direct action gets the goods, right? It's nothing more to it. Yeah.
Just
great. And I think we can open up for some questions from the public. Anyone on our live that might want to ask a question? Anyone in person who might want to ask a question? We do have a small audience here at the office. Check out. We got some comments on here. Okay. Looks like our Facebook is quiet. Anyone on here have any questions for Eliza on the general strike? Give people a little bit of time.
Finding people in your local area, taking local action together is really important. 100%.
That's right.
One of the organizations we're partnered with is called Moneyless Society. And we're going to be doing a podcast with a professor talking about a moneyless society and how a general strike can kind of get us to a future state. So that should be really interesting. Folks should go follow Moneyless Society.
All right. Well, Lisa, thank you for joining us today. It's been really great. Oh, wait, we actually got a quick question over here. What is your strategy for including traditionally more reactionary traditional workers?
By reactionary traditional workers, you mean folks in unions or more like militant union folks? Can you kind of clarify? Helping with finding mutual aid. Yes, we have resources for finding mutual aid and a few organizers who are doing mutual aid organizing that we're partnered with as well. So please go to our website and to the partners page and you'll see mutual aid resources. More right wing, but open to worker movements. Yeah, so our strategy for including everyone really is just person to person connection and asking people what they're struggling with. I'm left wing but live in Indiana. So everyone right now can align over a few things. One, we're all struggling, right? So like ask your neighbors, ask, even right wing folks, like, what are you struggling with right now? Are you able to pay your bills? Do you feel like you're making what you deserve at work? And like 99.9 times out of 10, you're going to hear no. And that's because we're all just by nature of the world we're living in being exploited. So just ask your neighbors, ask your coworkers, how are you doing right now? Are you just mind blown at the price of gas, the price of groceries? Are you struggling? I'm struggling. And just connect on that basic level first and then go from there.
Those are some really good pointers on just basic organizing. It's what it is having a conversation, making relationships, building community, right?
Any other
question from
questions?
someone here in the audience.
Hi.
Flip it over.
Hi, everyone. So I'm wondering, strikes in the past, specifically back when they had the strikes on Wall Street after the 2008 crisis, and lots of people were on the streets, protesting, and it was like this general feeling of we've been screwed over. We, like the political elite and like the 1% of America, all this rhetoric, which I think was very useful, but a lot of the criticism was, what do they want, right? And I think that I'm looking at the website, and there's like, right now there's no real demands. There's specific demands, and that they're going to be developed later. So I'm wondering, what are you guys thinking in how to develop those demands so that we can't have those criticisms, or at least that we can respond to criticisms like that, where they're like, you guys are so decentralized. What do you guys really want? So that's like something I'm thinking might come as a criticism.
That's such a great question, and we've gotten that so much. And we really are just starting out. With 5,000 people, we're not confident yet that we're able to make demands on behalf of everyone. That's why we've decided that once we hit around 6 million, we will look to the leaders of the fights for racial, economic, climate justice who are already doing the work. We don't need to reinvent the wheel on demands like brand workers, El Hormiguero, you all, like, we need demands from the people on the ground doing this work. So at 6 million, we will craft more concrete demands. That said, our current demands is just that our government prioritize people over profit. Healthcare, people over profit. Patients over pharmaceutical companies, okay? Housing, People over profit. Affordable housing for regular people over these luxury places, you know? If we prioritize people over profit in all sectors, we'll have such a different world. Also, a lot of our partners already have demands made. So if you go to General Strike Revolution's page, they have demands. United Strike has demands. And then all Moneyless Society is universal basic goods and services for all people. So there are a lot of people making demands, and we support all of them.
Follow-up, and I think this is like a natural question.
Yeah.
Which is, once like there's a bigger mass of people who join and sign the card, I feel like there's naturally going to be tension, and I think we see that with every movement, with every kind of change that's going on. There's going to be people who disagree, even if they're also supportive of the general movement. So I'm wondering if you guys have developed anything. I know it might be really early, but what kind of ideas have you guys maybe talked about and how to deal with those tensions that might arise within the movement itself, especially with a 7 million?
Yes, that is a good question. It's a really good question and something we've already come up against. So what we go back to is this quote by James Baldwin. He says, "We can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist." So I'm going to read that again because we think this is so important. We can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist. So what that means to us is that, you can be on the left, you can be on the right, as long as you are not discriminating against someone based on who they are. So we do not stand for that. We do not stand for racism, bigotry, homophobia. We don't tolerate it because in order for us to build a future where all of us are treated with respect and dignity, then we cannot be replicating systems of oppression. That said, if our Instagram page or our TikTok page is too left, too whatever, everyone has permission to start their own. So just recently, a few folks on our Discord were like, we don't agree with banning guns. And on the Instagram, some people are talking about banning guns and buying them back. So we said, great, start new Discords, create new nodes of the general strike, create new Instagrams, create new branches of this tree, and grow. Because the point is not to say, I don't like this, stop doing it. It's to say, I don't like this, I'm going to do something a little different and take this further.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Elisa. That was and also Sam, who asked the question. Very good conversation starter. Great question.
Yeah, great.
Awesome. Before you head out, is there any final questions that we have for Elisa and on the general strike? Anyone from on the live here or on Facebook or in person maybe have one? And if not, Elisa, thank you so much for joining us today. I'd really urge everyone who's on the live right now to make a small donation of $25. All donations are matched, meaning that if you donate 25, really you're donating 50. But something I said earlier was the best way to donate is also to make monthly commitments, right? Because just like in any healthy relationship, you want consistency and stability. So if you donate maybe $10, $20 today for the next couple months, maybe the whole year, it's a lot better than just a one-time donation. And $25 helps us to be able to hold worker meetings where we train workers on how to become workplace leaders so that they can go out and train others, and so that they can also develop their own strategy on how they want to organize their workplace.
Everyone donate to brand workers. This is like the future. You know what brand workers and El Hormiguero is doing on the ground is like exactly what everyone needs to be doing everywhere. So please.
Yes, thank you so much, Elisa, for joining us. If anyone wants to get more information on what Elisa was talking about today about the general strike, wants to follow general strike, you can hit on her icon right now, or you can also go to generalstrikeus.com, right? Yes, generalstrikeus.com. You can go there, you can sign up. We also have a post on our profile. You can go there and you can scan a QR code that will take you to their sign up page. Like I said earlier, such an amazing resource. Even if you think you know stuff on general strikes and you know like what's going on, you'll be baffled by the amount of like new information you'll find on their website. It's a really great resource. Highly recommend. Once again, thank you so much, Elisa, for joining us. Thank you so much. And next